In front of me is a giant lava pit, and I must parkour across disappearing blocks in order to cross it. And that is just the start of this massive obstacle course, where at the end is a chest containing the world's funniest joke. I waited for an opportunity and then started traversing the room. But I soon reached a dead end. I knew that the longer I spent on the platforms, the more likely I was to die. And if I die at any point, the game immediately ends. That's it. I continued looking for a way through, and eventually I noticed one. And with that, I had survived the first level. This next level featured a cube of leaves and another pit of lava, and there was a sign saying I needed to find 3 iron in order to move on. As I dug through the leaves, they started to decay. I noticed it was getting brighter as I went up, so I continued in that direction. And waiting for me at the top was the first iron ingot. But I had to keep moving because the leaves weren't going to stop decaying anytime soon. I continued to search, but it remained fruitless for quite a while. But with the leaves hollowing out, I was eventually able to see the second iron ingot. I then found the exit and figured out why I needed to gather 3 iron. I eventually collected the 3rd iron ingot, and luckily I was able to get back to the exit without dying. I used my 3 iron to craft a bucket and then travelled to the next level. This next room was a simple parkour course with TNT falling to annoy me. And annoy me, it did. I kept missing the jumps and started running out of health, so I had to hide in the entrance tunnel for a bit. After a while, I started to get to grips with the parkour course, and learned how to avoid being blown off. After that piece of TNT exploded, the exit was now a clear run. The next room was a giant arena, and as soon as I entered, zombies began to spawn. And the only way to stop the zombies from spawning was to destroy the redstone block. I tried to break the glass so that I could get in and out more easily, but the growing pack of zombies made going near the spawner very dangerous. Eventually, a gap opened up and I decided to just go for it. I could now parkour out of the room, but I used the lava to kill a few more zombies just out of spite. This next room would prove to be the hardest so far. I had to walk along invisible blocks, as well as completing parkour jumps. All whilst avoiding the arrows from the skeletons. I was able to kill one of them after getting far enough, but I fell off soon after, and the other skeleton made this section of the map very difficult. I managed to pass the jump this time, but I was still in the range of the skeleton. It took me a few more attempts, but I gradually started to learn the map. I was in a safe zone, but I still needed to be cautious as I was killing the skeleton. Once it was dead, I needed to complete the last few jumps before I would be finished with this section. I managed to complete them first try and moved on to the next stage, which turned out to be a dropper game. I tried to figure out the best way to approach the dropper, because I only had one attempt and it would all be over if I failed. And somehow, I managed to survive. I cautiously looked into the next room and realised that it was effectively a glorified TNT run. So I started running around like a maniac. As more anvils stacked up, the game got more dangerous, and eventually I got quite low on health. I only needed to stack up the anvils enough to reach the exit, so I eventually came up with a better strategy, which was to just alternate between two pillars. And after a while, I managed to make my way out. So far, I had survived a variety of challenges, and I was now on the final one. The last stage was a mashup of previous rounds, including a maze at the end, all while a leaf chain reaction takes place and will eventually prevent me from winning. So as soon as I got started, I was on the clock. The first part was a slight challenge, but the next would prove to be a nightmare. I was faced with a bit of a dilemma: wait to heal or jump now. I decided to wait, but this wasted an excruciating amount of time. And just as I started to continue the course, it happened again. I realised that if I waited again, I would have no time for the rest of the course, so I decided to just go for it. And just like that, I had failed, and the game was over.